Do you guys feel like we learned anything about their plans for George Pickens from today's press conference?
Well, you couldn't keep them both, I guess, is what Jerry was saying. Couldn't keep George Pickens if Micah Parsons, we have to trade him in order to pay George Pickens.
Right.
So you really couldn't keep them both, even though newsflash, Jerry, you really could keep them both. You just,
Yeah, that's one of my Jerry things. Drives me nuts because the number of people that believe everything that he says is way higher than you would think. Like, I could get a piece of paper and print off their salary cap and show you how you save it and draw out the contracts and show you how easy it is to keep them and to have Quinnen. He said they couldn't have Quinnen either. Like, you can draw. It's not hard. The website, overthecap.com, is right there for you. You can click the buttons yourself and you could see, yes, you can. But it's the fact. I'm just trying not to be political about it. We've reached a point where, and I'm not blaming one side for this, we have reached a point where it has just become everyone has picked where they are on everything.
Yeah.
And so you are predetermined of what is and what isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And people lying directly to your face is so common to the point where it no longer matters if anything is true or false. Because true or false is determined by what you want it to be or what you already believe it is.
Sound like we run Venezuela.
But so
sound like that attitude.
So like Jerry says things enough and they're not true.
Right.
And I tell people every time he says it, that's not true.
You can't push back on everything.
But what does it matter?
Right.
Like you can draw it up and literally show people over and over. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But his talking points, you say enough to enough people that hear it enough times.
Who want to hear it, and they're fans, and they want to buy in. They want to believe, and that's how he got you. Just like somebody tweeted to me today, well, what's Jeff's credentials on the salary cap? What does Jeff know?
I studied it.
Common sense. I just said common sense.
We could take what's the bar exam of NFL salary cap? I'd get like a 91.
Yeah.
I don't know everything. But I'd get like a 91.
But somebody really tweeted after the press conference. I guess you weren't on the Twitter or you weren't in the thread, but he's like, what is Jeff's credentials? How does he know about the cap?
Because it's available online.
You can learn it in many ways.
There are teams in the same league that you operate in who are doing the same thing that you say that you can't do.
Right.
And are doing it successfully. So it's not only is there's visible evidence via data where you can literally go online and look at it. There are physical evidences of these things happening from other teams in the same league which operate under the very same rules. They don't operate under a different set of rules, a different salary cap, a different credentials, any of that. It's literally lined out. The rules are the same for every 32 team. The number of the cap is the same for every 32 teams every single year. The rules apply the exact same way. And there are other teams who are doing it in this league that are saying like, yeah, we don't have to do it like that. We're doing it like this and are having a ton of more success than you.
So the difference for the Cowboys is, and I don't know why Jerry can't just say this, and I think he probably has at some point, or I'm pretty sure Steven definitely has. I don't remember if I was interviewing him or what it was, but the real truth about the Cowboys, it's not that we can't do something. It's that we believe that the way that teams who are more aggressive are doing it is wrong or less likely to keep them competitive all the time. Right? It's highly likely, like the Philadelphia Eagles are on a really good run. It's highly likely that in the year of our Lord 2029, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be bad. It's highly likely because they do the things that Jerry is saying he can't.
Mm-hmm.
Like to say we couldn't have traded for Quinnen Williams. Sure, you could. It was a 1 and a 2. You could have done that. You have those things and had him with Micah. And we couldn't have signed George. Sure, you could. We can draw up all these contracts. The way that you do it in the NFL these days is people have started cheating it. And to cheat it, you pay money up front and you account for that money later when a player's not even under contract anymore. So the Philadelphia Eagles, in theory right now, are going to owe almost $300 million to people who aren't under contract in 2029. That hurts. That should be a really rough year for them, unless they're still doing great and they'll take every player on the roster and do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And now in 2035, we're going to owe $600 million to people who aren't here. Like, that's the game you play. They choose to keep a cleaner sheet so that they think that makes them more competitive every year.
Right.
Like, we don't want to have a crash. And you choose if you want to take that at any given moment. And at some point, your organization might be at the point where you go, okay, this is the year.
Right.
Like, yeah, we're going to eat it now. And then we'll be right back. But they want to be in the mix at all times. And I guess it's not as good of a press conference, and it doesn't sell it to your fan base as well to say that.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that they tend to operate is they will never have one of the 3 to 5 best chances to win a Super Bowl in a given year either, because there will always be a different team that's in their hyper-aggressive mode because this could be our year. And so what they do is they have $12 million in cap space. If the Cowboys have $12 million in cap space, they get Kenneth Murray's going to fill 8 of it, and Javonte Williams is going to get 3.5. That's our $12 million, right, on 1-year contracts. The Eagles in one offseason with, let's call it the same $12 million, signed Saquon Barkley for $13 million a year or whatever, counted 3 in that year, because that's how you do long-term deals. Long-term deals, you can get a way better player that counts the same amount as the 1-year guy who is nowhere near the player, because I'll pay him a little more the next year, a little more the next year, a little more the next year, and then a big number when he's not even here.
Right.
Because that's what you're doing when you're being very aggressive. They choose to be conservative with their balance sheet, and I think they have an actual year-to-year budget, cash-wise, which is why Jerry said in the walk-off, he said something about busting the budget.
Yeah, he's going to bust the budget, bust financially. And just a guy who's been here a long time. I'm just tired. I'm tired of the richest franchise in sports.
Truth is, I'm tired.
The richest franchise in sports keep talking about balancing the budget. Now we're going to bust the budget? Now? After 30 years? I mean, I'm just tired. Why are we talking about, you don't get any Super Bowl trophies for being financially solvent?
No, but he's winning in every way except that one. And he can sit up there and say that the Super Bowl is the most important thing to him. His actions say it's not. But I have some hope for this offseason, and the reason is because of how defensive he is about the one thing he did this year. He's so defensive about it.
Oh,
like, I catch a lot of crap online for giving them crap about Micah Parsons to this day, and I will. I'll continue to. You traded a Hall of Famer, and generally that's a losing proposition. Nico got fired for trading Micah Parsons. Jerry can't. And so the subsequent trade for Quinnen Williams, I think, was a direct response of, it's not looking good for what I did. Let me double down and get some more and make another big splash.
Sort of Clowney too.
And now, so going in this offseason, he spent a lot of this press conference talking about Micah Parsons and about that trade. And I think his desperation to make that right could lead to them doing things that aren't usual for them. That's my hope. Because I've never seen him this defensive about a single thing before. He's constantly talking about the same thing that people are telling us to get over. He's bringing it up unprompted every time he talks. He is desperate to make that I was right. And if what I have to do that is do things differently, I'll do whatever it takes to be able to point back and say, see, I told you.